Now this, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says DEI staffing in the military is unacceptable.
So I don't know exactly how the staffing occurred in that particular air traffic control tower. And it sounds like there was a shortage, and the investigation will tell us more about that. But the environment around which we choose pilots or air traffic controllers, as the president pointed out correctly yesterday, better be the highest possible standard, the best of the best who are managing, multiple flights. I don't care what background they come from, what their race is, what their gender is. I just need them to be good at their job because I need my flight to land safely. The same thing applies to the Defense Department, to our military.
All right, Anthony Roman joins us now. He is an FAA licensed commercial pilot and an aviation investigation analyst joining us here in New York. Anthony, do you think that DEI played any role in this accident?
Well, the air traffic controller training regulations, the curriculum, and exams are quite difficult. It's a rigorous program. If anyone is capable of coming through that program and successfully completing the exams, even when they now are technically qualified air traffic controllers, they're under very strict supervision in the control towers and in the regional transports of jets.
Could there be shortages, staff shortages, because of DEI, because there were certain kinds of people who they wanted in and wanted out?
Well, that's a political question.
It is.
I'm certainly not a politician, so I really don't have the answer to that question.
Okay.
I do know that the shortage occurred as a result of the pandemic and the offering of early retirements to bring the number of controllers down when no one really knew when the pandemic was going to end. I thought it was a foolish move on my part.
Okay, let's look at the technicals on this. Do you think that the skies over D.C. are just too crowded and that we have an air traffic control system of computers that just can't keep up? Is that the case?
Well, I've been flying for near 40 years, both professionally and personally, in personal high-performance aircraft. And when I started flying into DCA with my personal aircraft, it was busy, but not madness. Today, that airport has much more traffic, which was approved by the government. And I have to tell you, between the choppers flying along the river right near the approach end of the runways, purportedly at 200 feet, and aircraft landing at near 300 feet as they cross that river, I don't like the idea. I think it's just too close for comfort.
Got it. Anthony Roman, thanks for joining us and bringing your expertise. We appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much indeed.